mentioned in the green room that you're doing a film on reparations. Erica Alexander has done a film. It's called The Big Payback. I would recommend everyone to check it out. It focuses on Robert Ruth Simmons, the woman that I mentioned earlier, of Evanston, Illinois. So it's a really great piece. But tell us about your piece and help us out. Give us something granular from your piece that we don't know about.
Yeah, so it's top secret, so I can't say only a few things about it. What I can say is that it's based on my forthcoming book called Radical Reparations, out February 6th next year, Healing the Soul of a Nation. And it's built from the premise, and it's sort of like, before I was a college professor, I was a high school English teacher. And so I think a lot about just common metaphors that I could reach. And I used to teach English at 7:45 in the morning. So this is the last thing that 16-year-olds want to do with me. But I would use something that I thought they could relate to. And so the house metaphor, we always hear burning house, house on fire, all these different things, metaphors for the United States. And so I would say to them then, and I say it now, America is a beautiful mansion on a beautiful block. California has a huge wing, we might call it the West Wing of this beautiful mansion. But when you go inside, there are piles and piles and piles of debts, dirty laundry. It's filthy, it's not being attended to. And most people who come later, they're so impressed with on the outside, they go inside and they just kind of squeeze in between, the kind of way we are today, squeezing in between dirty laundry and then pretending that they can't smell it. Piles and piles, political reparations, intellectual reparations, legal reparations, economic reparations, spiritual, spatial, and social reparations. At least 7 forms, I think, we're always talking about. And while a check is important, there are certain things that cannot be quantified. Thus, for example, I mentioned a lot, the bit in your mouth that they put when they enslaved you. Removing your smile. Your smile is the biological anchor for your thymus gland system, which creates a healthy immune system. So when COVID is happening, everybody's saying, oh, it's because we love Kool-Aid, or oh, because we love soul food. The pre-existing condition is enslavement. If you cannot smile, you cannot heal yourself. So part of what we're trying to do is really capture all aspects of what slavery did, because ultimately the other thing it did in terms of public policy was to create a bottleneck. And I like using this for my LA people in here. The reason why they create Hove lanes, I call them Hove lanes, shout out to Jay-Z. When we get a Hove lane on East Coast, it's a big deal, okay? They created one from Philly to New York and we were waiting 40 years for it. All that to say, when they create a Hove lane, it's because there's a bottleneck. Too many people need to go in that direction. Because we have not attended to the piles related to enslavement, we have not then been able to create Hove lanes that help black people who are already in need for poverty, education. We could go down the list. They're now on that freeway with everyone else, and no one's moving. It's a traffic jam on the freeway of freedom. So the idea is really that we need to create Hove lanes, which I would call radical reparations, that allow the people who have been waiting for over 83 million minutes since Abraham Lincoln put forward the Emancipation Proclamation. According to the 1619 designation, that leads to 3 trillion minutes black people have been waiting. I like to bring that up because they make us feel like we're really impatient. Yeah. We can't take any time, no wait time. We get on your nerves, we start using foul language. We've been waiting 83 million minutes. 83 million minutes. There are people who die in urgent care waiting 2 minutes. Yeah. 83 million minutes we have been waiting. And so I'll close out by just borrowing from the great sociologist. By show of hands, how many people have heard of Octavia Butler? Yes. Pasadena's finest. If you will allow me, I would like to paraphrase and borrow from her very famous proverb at the beginning of the parable of the sower. All that you repair, you heal. All that you heal, heals you. The only lasting truth is love. God is love. Reparations is about love.
Yes. That's right.